So this. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see you now.
Okay. So suddenly, no, I don't know.
I need to have a couple more rounds.
So,
I'll do that.
so she was happy to, she was very happy to see her son, but but he was always
outside
tense.
and
Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna?
I'm saying with
He was oblivious to surroundings.
Thank you so much.
He was oblivious to surroundings, and then what is that? Sometimes she would, it's okay. She was happy that he was back, but what is this? She could not comprehend. But whomever he spoke was extremely humble. So whomever he met, all the devotees, I want to share the sadness of my heart. Please come. So next day, everybody met. So so Sriman Pandit saw this in his exhibition of Krishna Prema, and the devotees would come together every day to pick flowers from Shiva's home. And this wonderful flower, it's a kalpavruksha, almost like kalpavruksha actually, desire tree. Irrespective of how many flowers you pick from this tree, there are always unlimited flowers. So what is that?
There's only two of them?
So they would come. Actually, can you imagine? I really do not know how many of you, what is that? Did anyone have an experience of going and plucking flowers and talking about Krishna? So in the morning or sometime, so material world means so many, what is that? So many facilities, but it's all superficial, So there is no joy actually, So 1 minute. What I I'm sorry, I'm back. Srila Prabhupada's disciple came, very advanced devotee, and I don't want to disturb them. So can you hear me now? So, so what is that? Like in the morning, children going to the temple, 5 o'clock, then plucking the flowers, then what is that? Worshipping Krishna, then talking sweet things. You see, there is nothing but bhakti, but no malice. There is no consumerism. There is innocence coupled with bhakti. That's a real joy. Today, there is everything superficial, like plastic. We are trained to speak so nicely. Unfortunately, materialism and technological development has removed all these finer qualities of gratitude, especially bhakti. Actually, people may have some gratitude, So that is a sign that Kali Yuga is progressing. Actually, purity has a lot of value. Actually, purity has even today a lot of value. Bhakti has a lot of value. Actually, so anyway, so they all will come together. Shiva's Thakur's home, this flower. They would come and pluck the flowers. Imagine in the early morning, the mist would fall on these flowers, on the flowers and the leaves, and you'll pluck the flowers. And there is nothing but just, what is that? Silence. In that silence, a cool breeze, and very close is Ganga's bank. And in that setting, everyone's hearts are, what is that? Filled with the love of God, Krishna. Wow. What contaminates the heart is superficiality and externality. Then heart will be filled with greed, impelled by, of course, false ego. Then other qualities will come. Even if you're in a wonderful setting, you'll without our knowledge, we contaminate it. So, but this is 500 years ago, and of course, Kali Yuga has sufficiently progressed, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Yugavatara descended. So, like Krishna would say, Krishna sent all his associates to take birth. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also sent all his associates. Gaurangera Sangigane, Nitya Siddha, Korimane, all the associates of Lord Chaitanya, they're eternally liberated personalities. This pure bhakti. And Srimad Bhagavatam, we see like Karmishta Bhaktas. But Prahlad's story, yes, it starts Prahlad. Yes, nothing else but pure devotee service. But Gaur Leela, practically, everyone is a pure devotee. Wow, amazing. So what is that? One time Govind Prabhu said this actually. Anyway, what is that? They all went to pluck the flowers. When sincere devotees come, Mahabhagavad devotees come together. And whatever they do is nice, because hearts are free from malice. They can, So first thing is, what is a Vaishnava? Gratitude. What is a Vaishnava? Humility. What is a Vaishnava? Bhakti for Krishna. Everyone says, so Sriman Pandit, what happened? You look so joyous. This Prabhu word, how many of you heard for the first time in Bhagavatam? Where is the word Prabhu coming in Bhagavatam?
First canto, Narada Muni addresses Srila Vyasadeva Prabhuji.
Prabhu, exactly. Amazing, huh? So in the first canto, Narada Muni addresses Prabhu, my master. Yugal Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj address. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his disciple is Prabhu, my Prabhu. Not like, okay, I know very well he is my servant, that's why I superficially address Prabhu. Not like that. Genuinely. you know. So anyway, what is that? They all came and what is the news? Nimai Pandit returned from Gaya. You know, Nimai Pandit returned from Gaya. And so, you know, so he came back and, you know, I went to see him and just total change. So humble. And his previous qualities, you know, they disappeared. And suddenly when he started talking about his pilgrimage, talking about Krishna, when he was talking about the lotus feet of Vishnu, I mean, you know, Krishna's feet he saw in Padmanabh Tirtha, Padapadma Tirtha. Wow, I have never seen something like this in my life. You know, like, you know, devotees explained, right? He exhibited that Krishna Prema, the tears of love. You know, the tears are flowing from his eyes, flooding the whole place. And he was exhibiting this, you know, Ashtasatyaka Vikara, you know, hairs was standing on end, you know, and he was falling down unconscious. And again, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Wow, it appears that Ganga was, you know, emanating from his eyes. Literally, I never saw that many tears in my life. Wow, what a sublime Krishna Prem. I think he's not an ordinary personality. You know, that he's an extraordinary personality. Anyway, he's asking all of us to come to Suklamar Brahmachari Swami. And you know, so we should all go. So we should all go. Then what happened? Then what happened? See, Srivas Thakur makes a statement. That is the. Just give me 1 minute. You know?
Today or tomorrow? Today. Today you said 7.
So, so what is that? The devotees were so happy, you know. Then Srivas Thakur said, you know, may Lord Krishna increase our congregation. This is the problem, you know, always. So, you know, in a very mysterious way, devotees are less in number. They're always worried to increase the congregation. This is true even with even that time when Sankirtan movement was inaugurated. I think that is Krishna's mysterious act of performance to glorify devotees and, you know, only to keep devotees on their toes for preaching, you know. Anyway, what is that? Taking there, you know, all the devotees went to went to Suklamar Brahmachari Swami just to see what he will do, what he will say. Gadadhar Pandit, what he did, he went before everyone, and Gadadhar Pandit heard this conversation, you know, and he went, you know, and, you know, he went to the home of Gadadhar Suklamar Brahmachari and he hid in one corner, and he was curious what he would say, you know. So all the devotees, you know, Suklamar Brahmachari, Sriman Pandit, Sadasiva Murari, everybody came. Everybody came, and so and then Vishnu, this Gaurang, Shri Gaurang Mahaprabhu. Now Gaur Sundar appeared and greeted everybody, you know. So first what he did, when he saw devotees, he started, you know, glorifying Krishna's qualities. Started glorifying Krishna's name. And when he started reciting different verses, glorification of the, you know, glorifying the qualities of bhakti. Wow. It was very good up to that point. Suddenly what happened? So what is that? I had found my Lord, but then he disappeared. I don't know where he went. I saw him. He was so beautiful. Where is Krishna? Again he started. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? He fainted. When he fainted, and he embraced the pillars. So where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? So when he fainted like this, naturally, when somebody is exhibiting that type of behavior, oh Krishna, where are you, Krishna? Krishna, where are you? Actually, what appeals anybody's intensity, not the duplicity. Intense. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Hare Krishna. So then, because of his behavior, the entire environment was surcharged with spiritual emotions, and they were affected. Actually, they were so affected. And then, as usually, he started crying. When he started crying, it was like a flood. Krishna, Krishna, it's like not just crying. He would embrace the pillar, and it's that. That's why that. What is that? Madrakya Mahabhava. Lord Chaitanya came to experience the Radharani's mood, Radharani's intensities. She would, Radharani, there is a Prem Sarovar in the noun actually. Mansarovar is there, Prem Sarovar is there. Mansarovar, Radharani would expect, so she was expecting Krishna to come, and she realized Krishna would not come. That separation, she cried intensely. It formed a lake. What are the two lakes actually? Prem Sarovar is there. One more. One is tears of Radha and Krishna together formed the lake Prem Sarovar. But one more lake actually. So anyway, then feelings of she would cry intensely, forming a lake, and then she would fall down in that lake. Because of the hotness of Radha and his body, the water would evaporate. That much intense separation. Krishna came to experience that Radha. Everyone is listening.
Yes.
So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like very tall, and he would bad and fall down. Where is Krishna? When he would cry, Krishna, loud, and his cries were reverberating, and he's just a young man, and everyone was surcharged. The devotees, they were affected. His tears were gushing like a flood. After some time, he composed himself. Devotees were affected. Devotees started crying. Then what happened when this thing happened? Somebody fell down inside. That sound came. Who is that? Who is inside? Said, your beloved Gadadhar. Gadadhar Pandit came out. Head down, tears pouring from his eyes. Gadadhar, how fortunate you are, Gadadhar. From a childhood, your bhakti is untainted. Childhood, you have developed this unflinching love for Krishna. My life, Gadadhar, I wasted. It's useless. All this knowledge, Vidyara Vilasi. Because I wasted my life. I got the crust jewel of my life, Krishna. But because of my, impious activities of the past. Krishna disobeyed again, he started crying. He, crying, and he fell down. And he, fainted. Fainted. I have a question. Can you all imagine? So this exhibition, they are all like super exalted devotees. What is this exhibition of that uncommon, unparalleled Krishna Prema? So his whole body was filled with dust, and very interestingly, by the will of, he was not hurt. Then he would go and embrace, oh Murari, where is Krishna? Oh, Suklam, Brahmachari, where is Krishna? Sadasya, where is Krishna? So this, it's never heard of, I cannot live this. I cannot live my life. The pain is intense. Where is Krishna? Tell me, where is Krishna? Where can I find Krishna? Hare Krishna. So whole day. And then they plucked flowers in the morning, then they all went to see him. The whole day passed. Finally, the Lord composed himself, Gaur Sundar. Then he went home. So when he went home, devotees could not believe their eyes. Wow! This is extraordinary. No one has ever seen this before. And all the devotees were so happy. Wow. Nimai Pandit, now, he will give Krishna to everyone. Now he's a little down, but once he feel already, they knew his, they knew his temperament. So he would break the head of atheists. Another devotee said, I have no doubt all the leelas of Krishna, he will spread across the world. Then another devotee said, I think because he met Ishwarpuri, because of Ishwarpuri's grace, he saw Krishna. That's why he's going through, so that's why he got this transformation. So they were actually finding different reasons. And then what happened? Devotees were so jubilant, because they have addition of a devotee, but what type of devotee is super exalted devotee? But little did they know that is the Sankirtanayika Pitaro. He has come to Guna, this Yuga Avatar. It'll take a little more time, but we'll come to that. So what happened? Now he has gone for pilgrimage for a long time. Now he has come back. So all the students, they think in those days single teacher. If teacher wants to take holiday, chutti. Teacher has come back. Everyone is very interested. Gangadas Pandit, Vishwambara went and touched his feet, offered obeisances. He blessed him and said, oh, my dear Nimai Pandit, all your students are waiting for you. So then, and he went to see his students. He would take classes in Mukunda Sanjay's, everyone, they have a Durga Mantapa in those days. So that's where, he would conduct the classes, so all the family members of Mukund Sanjay were very happy, then what is that? So Lord, my glance fully, he blessed everyone with his glances. And teaching Gangadhar's point said, you can take class from tomorrow, not today. It's fine. He came home, anybody came to him, he only spoke of Krishna, nothing else. So everyone thought, this is not the previous Nimaya Pandit. Where are the Bhattacharyas? Where are the Mishras? I will make them into powder. That is not visible. There is a change. It's like very intense, which he maintained, what is that throughout his life. Lord Chaitanya is always internal. Very few times he would be external. Sometimes he would be in between. So what is that? Mother Sachi Mother was very happy, but now, she couldn't understand what's happening to him. Oh, my Lord Krishna, you've taken him my husband, you've taken him my son. There's only one remaining, But without him, I'm alone. Please keep Vishwambar at home, healthy and happy. Sometimes she would bring the daughter-in-law, Vishnu Priya, before him. But he'll be like this, lost. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Sometimes he would roar, and Vishnu Priya would run away from them. And he would not sleep, no sleep at all. That Vipralamba, that's what he came to experience. So can you imagine? What gift we all got. So Lord Chaitanya would be awake whole night. Where is Krishna? My Lord, where did you go? Gauranga Maharaj speaks of this in verse Antilila. Where is that Murali? Where is that sound of flute? Where is that, Murali Vadana? Where, that verse, where is that holder of peacock feather? So where is Krishna? So anyway, what is that? It's like a fire, fire of separation. But whenever he would see some materialists, he would conceal, he would hide these emotions. So now, so next day he went to a Ganga. Then he saw his students waiting, and he said, when he saw his students, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, So all right, students, now he's a teacher, right? He has to teach. What is that? Okay, students, open the books. So everyone opened the books. Hari, Hari. When he heard this name, Hari, Hari, he became ecstatic. See, if you follow Ayurvedic medicine, you'll become a Krishna devotee. The Ayurvedic medicine, it's like that, because Krishna, what is that? Krishna is, of course, everything. So one doctor told me, if you go to this professor's home, who is actually a Muslim, in the entrance you will see big Vishnu's picture. He's Muslim, and he's an ardent devotee of Krishna. Why? His study of Ayurveda as a professor, as a student, he eventually became a professor. He understood it in the principle. What is the role of Vishnu, Krishna in our lives? Amazing, right? I want to feel it's amazing. So Ayurveda explains everything in detail. How, what is the role of Shiva? What is the role of Brahma? and not that. Actually, some things they told me, I was shocked actually. 6 months before also, they can predict that you will die in 6 months. So when this much detail, naturally you'll believe, and medicines are working, the internals. And who is the one founder of Ayurveda? Anybody? Dhanvantari, that's it. Dhanvantari is incarnation of Krishna. So anyway, so many students, what is that? When they said Hari Hari, he was so big. He loved that holy name, Then actually that's why it's Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya. He's a Krishna conscious. He's a Krishnaya, Krishna Chaitanya. He's not a Krishna Ardhakila Cheshta. Krishna Cheshta. He's a Krishna Chaitanya. He's a Krishna conscious. Because he's Krishna. So he looked at everyone, and so he started talking about Krishna. So Nidhi is a grammar teacher, everything he told about Krishna only. The only eternal truth is Krishna's holy name. Krishna is the only worshipful Lord. Krishna is supreme controller. Krishna is supreme maintainer. Krishna is the master of the creation. Lord, Brahma, Shiva, everyone is his servant. Ekaleshwara, Krishna Rasava Vrutya. So if you describe anything without describing the Lord's feet of Krishna, you're an illusion. Anybody does it, his words are an illusion. Their words are untrue, his birth is useless. The entire Vedanta, Agamas, everything culminates at Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna's lotus feet is the ultimate goal for everyone. All the scholars are mesmerized by the illusory potence of the Lord. Because for that reason, they cannot get Krishna's lotus feet. They cannot get the shelter. Krishna is the life and soul of every living entity. And but when he is more dear to his surrendered souls, so somebody who is very well versed with scriptures, maybe, but he has no attraction for Krishna's holy name, then he'll go through the path of destruction and hell. On the other hand, even if somebody is a Chandala, if take shelter of Krishna, he will attain perfection. This Chandala eventually attain the perfection, and by just chanting Krishna's holy name, he would attain the perfection. But a person, he reads so many scriptures, but he doesn't describe what Krishna is. This is like a Bharavahi. He's carrying the load of burden, like an ass. So even if after acquiring so much knowledge, he has no grace of Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, people in general are foolish. What is that? People are foolish by nature. And what is that? What are the four people who do not come to the shelter of Krishna? Chaturvida Bhajantam Jana Sukritino Artho Jignyas Radnardi Jnana Pratarshava. These four people come to the Krishna. What are the four types of people who do not come to Krishna? Maya Parhata Jnana, Asurim Bhava. Miscreant, grossly foolish, who are illusioned, purposes, MA, BA, PhD. Why they don't have faith in Krishna? Their knowledge is taken away. People who are demoniac, people are grossly foolish. What is that? Whose knowledge is taken away, and they are, miscreants. They cannot take shelter of Krishna. So what is the power of Krishna's holy name? Krishna even delivered Agasura, Ajamila. So Krishna's holy name alone can purify the entire universe. We all should understand that. All the devotees in the call. What is it we should understand? Krishna's holy name is alone enough to deliver us. We don't need to do another prashchit. How many of you agree? We should develop that faith actually, right? So, what is that? Intoxicated by birth, high birth education. Kunti says this. Janmeshwari Shuta Sri Piredama. People have wealth, high birth, education, and parentage. They don't know the glory of the holy name of Krishna, which liberated Ajamil. Ajamil chanted only one time, and he still was liberated. Brothers, my students, please believe whatever I'm telling is truth. Worship Krishna. Lakshmi Devi always wants to serve Krishna's lotus feet. Lord Shiva has become a pure devotee, by taking shelter of that lotus feet. Brahma, what is that? Brahma washed that lotus feet. Mother Ganga emanated from this lotus feet. My dear brothers, please take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. Now, what is there anybody who can refute my explanation? Isn't it my opinion? And what is that? Vrindavan Thakur says, this is supreme absolute truth. Is a source of transcendental vibration. Whatever he speaks is absolute truth. Who can refute? So the students, they were just listening. When absolute truth is revealed, Krishna consciousness, so suddenly became normal, he became conscious. So he asked his students, so everything today, whatever I have spoken is fine. Students said, sir, we did not understand anything. Today you described your Krishna as the means of everything, we couldn't understand. So all right. So let us go for a bath. Let us go to Ganga. So they all went, and they took bath in Ganga. He was taking bath with his students. Vrindavan Thakur writes, Devatas want to see, Brahma wants to see, Lord Shiva wants to see. So seeing this such a beautiful face, wow, his parents are very blessed. Ganga was so happy to wash his feet, and she was coming in the form of waves and washing his feet. She was dancing with joy. Wow. Anyway, what is that? So what is that? Finally went home and he offered water to Tulsi plant. You should know this. This Tulsi worship, became prominent. Who made the Tulsi worship prominent? Lord Chaitanya. Tulsi worship, and he worshipped Krishna, Vishnu's. I think they have deity at home. They have Vishnu deity. What is that? Shirdaksa Vishnu deity. Janad Mishra would worship. So Mother Sachimata brought in when she brought nice prasad, and she offered it. And the Vishwambar, the Lord of the universe, he was eating prasadis. Vishnu Priya was actually in another room. So I think what is that shyness? That here what happens to my son? Today what books you read? Did you debate? So I said, Mother, we talked about Krishna's holy name. We talked about the glories of Krishna's feet and chanting the holy name. And what is that? Hearing and chanting. These process are eternal. Krishna's devotees are eternal. Krishna's surrendered souls are eternal. So scripture that establishes Krishna as supreme has a value. That scripture that fails to establish Krishna as supreme personality of God, it has no value. Even if it comes from Brahma, it has no value. A dog-eater Chandala chants Krishna's holy name, and he's liberated. But a Brahmin born in the high family doesn't follow, doesn't follow the chanting of the holy name and doesn't follow the principles. He's not a Brahmin. It's like Devahuti, Kapila Muni is preaching to Devahuti. He started preaching. So he started telling, what is that? Mother tried to develop respect and attachment to Krishna. Devotees of Krishna are there, never destroyed. Death is afraid of devotees of Krishna. Chakshabrahmavati dharmatma satsachandani gachati kauntiya pradayana name bhaktya pranashyati. Boldly declare Arjuna, my devotees will never perish. I protect what they have and I give them what they lack. So the devotees of Krishna, they don't experience suffering when they are in the womb of the mother, or they don't experience suffering at the time of death. This type of sufferings are unknown to devotees. Anybody who refuses to worship Krishna is a sinner. Enemy of his parents, he'll eventually go to hell. So now listen, mother, what will happen if what will happen if a person doesn't want to worship Krishna? What is it verse? Tanaham dishita kruram samsareshno anadama kshipam yashram asubam asura seva yonisho. So a person who doesn't want to worship Krishna, again and again, mother is made to enter into the different wombs of this creation. He is subjected to so much suffering when the mother would eat, whatever the mother would eat would pain him. Spicy, when she eats spicy food, that the gastric fire would burn him. The baby, the soul in the baby's body suffers like anything. There are so many, bacteria, worms. They start biting the soft flesh, and baby cannot move. And apart from that, this mother's womb is very hot, sticky womb. So this is a nightmare. Sometimes those who are very sinful, they're condemned to die in the womb of the mother repeatedly. And living like this mother 7 months, the living entity understands his position. He remembers the previous promises to Krishna in previous births. My Lord, I told you, many times I promised you, if you take me out, I'll dedicate my life. But I have not dedicated. For that reason, you're putting me in the womb now. 7 months over, I cannot move. Actually, I want everyone to, I'm sorry, but if you can imagine what a difficult situation it was, what we all went through, we'll become Krishna conscious. How many of you agree?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Agree, Prabhuji.
But we're all getting many of, those of you fortunate souls, and who will go back to Godhead and say, yeah, others come back. There's no if and but. Either come back and sit in the womb of the mother or go back to Godhead. You agree or not? Sometimes we tell people, hey, please come for program. Not interested. Oh, not interested. All right. What a pain it was to just sit in the womb of the mother. Not the so, but here Lord Chaitanya is telling, devotees won't go through that suffering, non-devotees. So, but if the soul is like a devotee, then he prays intensely. Please save me, Lord. May save me, my Lord. You know, you're the cause of everything, cause of all causes. Due to my forgetfulness, I forgot you. Now captured by Maya. Please relieve me, my Lord. I wasted my life, in the pursuits of family, children, wealth, and I neglected that. What is that? Your shelter. Neglected your shelter. Bulliya tumhare samsare asiya peya vidhanana vyadha. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, the son with whom I raised so lovingly with a life of sin, where is he now? My children, where are they now? Where are they? I don't know. They are in some other womb, you are somebody's womb. Who will save me from this untold suffering? My Lord, you are the only friend. Surdasara, you're the only what is that, Bhaktavatsala. You're the, what is that, Deenavatsala. You're the savior of the fallen. Except your Lord's feet, nobody else. Krishna, my Lord, please save me. I'm foolish. I have left your association and absorbed in this family life, birth out of birth. In this conditioned life, birth out of birth. And my Lord, please bring me out. I'll give this one life to you. Every soul prays like that, especially pious souls. So, so whether living or dying, I'll always remember you. And this place is the Kalema Sashvatam. I don't want to go to Indraloka, my Lord. And if they don't celebrate your festivals. So, I have performed unlimited sinful activities. For that, you have bestowed this. For this, I got this unlimited suffering. But very grateful to you that I am very sinful. You are appearing in my memory to give me intelligence so that I can worship you, my Lord. Hare Krishna. Everyone is listening or not?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Is there anything, Barthold says, every 60 years? Not that we are blissful, first 10 years, Prahlad Maharaj teachings, I was telling, Prahlad Maharaj teachings, first 10 years, we don't know anything. If your mother gives one chocolate to somebody else, which is yours, so-called. First 10 years, you don't know anything, next 10 years, education. Nowadays, people study doctor, next to 30 years actually. So can you come to Mangalarti? Not interested. We'll give some donation once we become big. That's good. Anything, anywhere you start is fine. Are we have to sit in the womb of the mother again. It doesn't discriminate whether a prime minister, president, doctor, engineer, professional. Got 10 million people, 1 crore people died. They're all getting ready to sit in the womb of the mother. And they have left their family and children. Nobody remembers them. Even if they remember, what is the use? You have already progressed to the next life. That's why Prabhupada felt very bad. Prabhupada cried actually. Paradukha dukhi. You're understanding or not? You know, intensely. You know, if you're sitting in a bus or in a train, Bombay train, 20 minutes you'll somehow stay there and come out. This is not 20 minutes, sir or ma'am. 9 months, head down, feet up. Like bow, like this, you know, like this. That's why you should become Krishna conscious today. So Lord Chaitanya was preaching to his mother. You know, yeah. That's why whatever we do in our life, we should orchestrate our life in such a way. We come to chant the holy name. We started 32 rounds, club. People came. You know, once Corona started, Corona ended also. But nobody's coming. Lethargy and complacency are the two deadly enemies on the path of spirituality. You know, we are so much enamored by our present condition. You don't see, very soon you are going to get on the next stop. For example, you're going to Vrindavan, you should get on the train in Mathura, but you should engage a car or auto to take you from Mathura station to Vrindavan station. Then, you know, you should have booked your room. Or if you have gone to Yatra, you should know which room. No, not like that. Train, everyone is talking, they are listening to you very nicely, whatever lecture you are giving. You know, lecture about Corona, lecture about Ukraine war, lecture about Indian politics. You know, so you forgot to tell people to book an auto and to ask to book a room in the, you know, then what happens? You'll suffer. Likewise, if you're absorbed with our present conditions, are so much enamored by our present situation, and we don't make preparation for the future activities, future life, then this is what will happen. What do you think? Anyway, so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you know, so he preached very intensely to his, so he was talking to his mother. He was talking to his mother, what would happen in the womb of the mother and how the baby goes through. We all went through that. Not that he's talking about only one baby. Right? So we'll continue this. You know, Madhya Kanda is nectar because so many wonderful things happen here. My obeisance, if I have spoken anything wrong, Hare Krishna. But we should sincerely take shelter of Krishna's holy name. Should sincerely take shelter of the process. Get rid of the lower nature by chanting the holy name. Then you'll realize whenever you're affected by lower nature, mind is affecting you. But you'll try to stay away. But earlier, when mind would affect, we think we are mind. But now we know we are not the mind. Mind is affecting us. We are not the mind. That itself is a great realization, actually. Anyway, I want to end it here. Thank you very much. And anyone wants to add any question? Otherwise, I'll end it.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
how do we develop love on Krishna?
How do we develop love on Krishna?
Yeah.
Your father and mother will tell you. So how many rounds you chant now?
8.
8. Wow, amazing. So if you, you should not chant 16. I want you to come to 16 rounds as early as possible, and you should get initiated and follow 4 regulated principles sincerely. You should not offend anybody, including your father and mother. And that's it. You should take good care of your brother, and you should respect your parents and respect devotees. What do you think?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So she chants 8 rounds. Wow. Shaka maybe hardly. How old is she? 6, 7?
Prabhuji, she's 8 years, Prabhuji.
Wow. She's chanting 8 rounds for 8 years. Fantastic. Very nice. Better than me, at least. So we'll end it here.
Thank you so much.
Chaitanya Bhagavat ki Jai.
Jai.